What are the potential risks and limitations of using AI for content creation?
Potential risk.
Yeah, and limitations, yeah.
In terms of risk, as a business, I'm finding it quite difficult to see what risk right. there would be with using AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about for a content creator?
What do you think?
Well, I mean, aside the fact that, say for generative text, that's different, but for generative images, right, there are times you might not get it as accurate. I mean, now it's getting perfect. It keeps getting better and better, right? In the initial stages, you get characters that are a bit deformed or that might not match maybe the right skin tones and all of that. But now it's getting, better. But I believe that beyond that, right, there might be certain limitations that other people are going to face. Say, and this was usually the case with stock images, right? So if you're a designer, you're looking for, say, an African man in a shopping mall, and that was like very difficult to find.
Yeah.
An African man holding a credit card, very difficult to find. An African man with a laptop and all of those. Those were like limitations that came with stock photos, right? With AI, I believe that it is easier, but then some of these platforms are not so accessible. Some of them you have to pay for, right? Some of them won't give you the
quality.
The quality. Some of them too, like the characters are deformed and everything. So there's all of those limitations. Yeah.
So I think based on what you said, when it comes to visual or image generation with AI, I think at this point it's not yet. I wouldn't say for commercial stuff. It's not. You can't definitely compare it to a stock photo that a photographer has actually taken, right? I think most of this stuff are just futuristic, right? Abstract. It helps you to imagine stuff. And it's good to communicate things that aren't exactly realistic, right? That's the power and beauty of AI. It helps you to imagine things that you probably wouldn't be able to imagine right now. Like anything that you can think of that you probably cannot shoot as a photographer with a camera, you can do that with AI. Now, in terms of the risk, just to add something little, I'm just thinking, imagine I'm a content creator or a marketer, and I am for the past maybe 1 year or 12 months, I've kept using AI, right? It's really good, but I think one of the things that we should learn is to keep a balance, right?
Okay.
So that it doesn't actually necessarily take away our creativity. Yeah, so we want to learn how to use AI to enable us to work, not to use AI to do our work, so that we still have some creativity and difference in content generation.
But don't you believe that it makes you lazy at some point? I think myself, I got to a point that I started getting quite lazy because on a normal day, I could write 20 captions, social media captions in a week. I got to a point I don't want to think anymore, right? I want to write a caption. I'm running to an AI platform to get a caption for me. Usually, it doesn't seem authentic. It doesn't seem like my voice. So I discard it, and then I just discard making the post at all. You get it? Doesn't it make you like lazy eventually because you become overly reliant on AI to help you do very basic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's freeing you to do far more important things, right? For me, anything that's helping you win at something, I think it's good. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how can AI-powered tools help us refine marketing strategies?
This is a very interesting one, because. To refine a strategy, I need to understand what I'm trying to achieve, right? It's every time I think of strategy, I think of like a meeting that I'm having with some people.
Okay.
And we are thinking this is what we should do next, and this is what we did before that didn't work, right? So it means that there's some context and there's some experience that we've had, and there's a goal that we are looking to achieve. So using AI to generate strategy, I think the first thing we would have to look at or think of, is there some data to back the decision that we are trying to make? Okay, as an organization or a company, maybe even a small business, have we used any AI tools in the past, right? What data have we gathered? What information do we have about our audience so far, or about our business from the AI tools that we've implemented? And I think based on that, we can use that data to inform our strategy, right? And as much as you can use AI to come up with a whole new strategy, if we don't have one, it's always good to look back, reflect on things that we've done in the past and any data that we've gathered, and then use AI to help us to plan ahead
for the future. Yeah. And I believe that that's something that's very good, because for us, even recently, working on our strategy for this year, right? So we have long-term business strategy, say, for the next 5 years, right? Now we have to plan specifically for this year. What are the things we need to do this year to get to where we want to get to, say, by the end of the year, right? So what I did was to put the information about our long-term plan, right, in, and then got very specific that, okay, this is where we want to get to by the end of this year, right? And this is how we want to get there. Now, what are the things we need to do to be able to achieve this particular target that we've set first overall for the company itself? What are the things that we need to do to achieve this target? Yeah. Then he gave that. Then I cascaded it down to the various departments. So say digital, what are the things that we need to do to achieve these 3 objectives that we end? It's very important that you, the person working on the strategy, understand what the intended goals are, right? Because if you don't understand that, you're going to take any response for whatever it is. So now we put in that, okay, for this first quarter, we want to achieve A, B, and C, right? And this is our overall business strategy. What are the things we need to do to achieve that? It gives you a couple of responses, then you say, okay, and you are the smart person, you are the human being, so you put to understand that this one can actually help me achieve that. This one can help me achieve that. So you just narrow down on the things that will actually help you to achieve the objectives that you have for the year. Now, beyond that, being able to measure or track the result from that, you ask AI again, okay, what are the key metrics I should be tracking for this, say, 3 strategies that you've given to me? Yeah. You know, then it gives you that, okay, so track. So we use OKRs, obviously. So these are the OKRs for this particular strategy, OKRs for that strategy. Then you refine that and you're able to move forward. So it all comes back to knowing what the intended goals are, right? Knowing very specific objectives, and then using AI to help you, usually with the initiatives that needs to be done to be able to get to that point. I believe that that's what people need to be able to do to refine refine that. Now, what are some of those tools that people can use to? I think we've not spoken so much about the tools that are available for people to use. What are some of the AI powered tools that are available to help people refine their marketing strategies and all of that?
To refine marketing strategy,
or and for AI in general, maybe generative AI in general.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, of course, there are a lot of content generation tools, right? Copy writing tools, and these tools can help you to do marketing strategy. So I think when it comes to marketing strategy, there are specific types of them. Maybe we can talk about specific, like just
use cases,
a few types of strategies, and then we can look at some AI tools that can help you to do specific things. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
So specific strategies. Let's look at, say, I want to improve performance of my team, right, for this particular quarter, you know. Are there specific platforms or specific AI tools that I can use, or I can just use any, generative AI for that?
It depends on what performance we are looking to improve, right? The good thing is that, today when you talk of AI assistants, they can be used for anything. You can even use it as a co-pilot. In fact, to even understand a strategy of a business, I actually advise that all businesses actually implement some type of AI co-pilot into their business. The reason why I say that is that internally, you can actually use this to understand your company's data anywhere that the data is. So whether you use a tool like Slack, Google Drive, Dropbox, anywhere that you have data, internally you can actually keep track of all this information. You can find it easily, and then you can use that to make sense of your strategy. To get your team to speed and to improve performance, I think it will be good for them to even analyze all data from all things that you've done before. And if I have a co-pilot like that in my organization, that can actually help me to achieve like some really incredible performance.
Now, do they need to custom build some of these co-pilots, or they already exist that they need to use, or what is that?
Yeah. So, of course, there are a lot of ways you can achieve something like that. If you are you are a company, an organization that's big, or you have a very good engineering resource, you can look into companies that offer APIs like Copyanto. We offer like APIs like that for organizations that want to do really custom stuff. We also do offer non-API solutions, so no-code solutions for organizations that probably don't have the engineering resource. Okay, so with Copyanto, you can simply deploy AI tools and assistants within your organizations. This could be like chatbot search tools, sales assistants, even assistants that you can add them to your call. They would listen to your sales calls and help you close leads, right? Things like this are things that you can even achieve without any coding experience. You just go on Copyanto.ai, you sign up, you create an app, and then you integrate it with any channel, and that can serve as a co-pilot within your organization.
Okay. Yeah. Now, for business in general, right, what would you say are the top 3 areas that AI can help improve?
Of course, the first one is content generation, right? You really can use AI a lot for that. This could be text or visual or image generation. So that's the first one, content generation. And the next one that I will talk about is customer engagement. Yes. So customer engagement in the sense that you as a business have customers. As long as you have customers, these customers are always going to be wanting, or they are going to need something. And then they would expect you to be able to engage with them and provide that support. Now, the sad part is that customers are always asking the same thing over and over again. If I should ask you anything about your business, on top of your head, even if you were sleeping and I just woke you up, I'm sure you'll be able to tell me, right? Unfortunately, for your customers, they don't know this information, right? Until they want it. So you can use AI to understand every bit about your business, and then the AI can now act like your smartest employee to provide like responses that are relevant to what the person is asking, wherever they ask and however they ask, through AI assistants like chatbot.
I think one other advantage is the fact that it streamlines the whole process.
Exactly.
Because what usually happens is that, say, like you're saying, you, the person at the top, say the manager or the founder or something, might have all the information, and they have an employee who is responsible for customer engagement or customer support, right? They might not know as much as you would. They might not be able to give all the right responses that you'll be able to give, right? So for every question that they don't have a response to, they have to come back to you for response, and then they go back to them, and that's usually lengthens the response time, right? One experience that a lot of people don't know, but they always have, is that, say, for brands that they reach out to that have like a very technical back end, say you're having a transaction issue, right, with your bank, the customer service person doesn't understand, most of the time, doesn't deal directly with financial transaction, you know. So they need to go back and go and ask. Sometimes they may understand what has happened. Exactly. They need to go back and go and ask, what happened over here? Then they come back and give a response. So if you are there waiting, you're like, why are this one responding to me very fast? Because they've also gone to ask someone else who will get back to them in 10 minutes or in an hour time. But then with AI, the response are like very fast, you know, because all the data is already present, and then it's able to just intelligently read and then give you the response that you need, right? And I believe that some other areas, very important areas for businesses, would be what we've included in the Intelligent Growth Catalyst suite, right? The smart sales enablement, for instance, that people come into your conversation, they are asking questions, right? Someone wants to place an order that's you don't even know, but you're able to learn from that chat that, okay, this is someone who is interested
in a product or service,
in this particular product, particular service. You're able to identify that person and reach out to them to close a sale,
Yeah.
right? Someone who would usually get frustrated in your DM and then just disappear, right?
Exactly.
Another way is also, like I mentioned, filling up your content hub with content that is lacking. So questions that people are searching for that you don't have the existing content for, you're able to populate your content hub with all of those, the content and the information, so that later on they'll get richer response, they'll get more accurate responses, and then retargeting them with content that answers the questions that they're looking for. So someone who has come to search for why this, how do I solve this, and how do I fix this thing, you can now put content on where they spend their time, or if it's social media or wherever, so that it educates them. Because most of the time, one key content pillar that a lot of marketers use is education, right? How do people use this thing? How do people get to understand this thing? So able to repopulate your various channels or retarget your audience on the various channels with content that they need. Then lastly, I would say optimizing your growth funnel, right? Yeah. There are people who come in, it's just awareness. They've heard about your offering, and they want to know more, right? Now, how do you get them from that awareness stage to actually acquiring them as a customer,
to closing,
to retaining them, and to getting them to spend more? All of these things are things that you can learn from AI, and it's as simple as like a conversational, chat, a conversation interface, right? They just converse with the thing, you're able to learn, okay, this person is interested. Now, based on this information that I have on them, I can get them to sign up for this particular product or this particular service. Yeah. And I believe that the opportunities are limitless for a lot of businesses, and for businesses who are looking to, optimize some of these things or to improve some of these key areas of their business, signing up onto Copyanto is like the most fundamental way to begin to get into it. Maybe you can just tell us just a bit about how they can do that with Copyanto.
Yeah, so it's like really simple, okay? You don't actually... So one thing that we've done is simplify the whole experience of creating an AI assistant or putting AI into your business. Before, you would actually need to have an engineering team, make like a lot of resource to do that. But today, it's very simple. All you have to do is go on our platform, copyanto.ai. You sign up, and then you can create an app or an agent or an assistant, however you call it. And then the good thing is that you can actually customize it to fit your brand. So wherever the name of your brand is, you can. The brand colors, the brand tone, the colors, the icons and all that. And all these are things that you can actually do within a matter of minutes.
Right.
Like 2-3 minutes, you're actually done. You can customize it, you test it, and it's really good. And then you can now go on to integrate it. So the good thing is that after creating this thing, you can actually add data sources, right? So let's say you have a brochure, you have a booklet, or you have like some sales deck that you want customers to get some information from. You can include all this as data sources, including even your website. So when someone asks for any information, the AI assistant that you created in Copyanto understands your brand and can respond to them as if it's actually part of your organization and can give them instant responses. It's not going to be like your employee that's going to tell your customer that just hold on a minute, let me actually get this information for you, and you are going to be in a queue and all those sort of things. That's really the way we actually simplify it. The good thing is after all this, you actually have a dashboard where you can see the analytical overview of your conversations and everything that your customers are concerned about.
Okay, so for businesses who are looking to improve their customer engagement, I believe it's copyanto.ai to sign up and then get onto it. We've discussed a lot of key areas for AI and the future of marketing with specific focus, and I think what is of more interest to us is customer engagement, right? In the future, as and when AI improves and gets better, we are going to discuss other key areas. But then lastly, my last question, what are your predictions for the future when it comes to AI? What trends do you see, in the future?
Yeah, I actually believe that every company actually is going to be an AI company. Okay, AI company in the sense that it's something you can't do without, and AI because it helps to do a lot of things. So in one way or another, I feel like every company should now start thinking of how to implement, use the advantage of AI in their business to help them stay ahead. And that is really what we have thought about. And that's why we actually have built Copianto. So what we do is really make it easy for any business
to become an AI company.
Without actually all the stress about resource, engineering and everything. We've actually simplified it. Today you can just become an AI company within minutes with Copianto.ai, right?
Okay. And for any company who wants to become an AI company, I mean, you don't necessarily need to brand yourself as an AI company. It's just about using AI to improve
to enable something.
to improve certain areas of your business, whether internally or externally, once it is bringing value to your people being your employees, your customers, right? I believe that is what is of, or your processes, that is what is of utmost importance. I believe that, yes, you can use AI to improve all of those experiences.
Exactly.
So, I'm very happy we had this conversation. And then as and when we get to the point where a lot of these things are happening, we'll come back and then discuss all of these things again.
We'll keep everyone updated.